If it wasn't for fun, life couldn't survive. He is the one that we need, like the sunshine. If it wasn't for fun, life couldn't survive. He is the one that we need, like the sunshine.
I'm a mystery, the mist don't mean shit to me. I come from the rain, but that's just some ancient history. A savior was born when God created spores. Find me on the end of your stick like you're making s'mores. Symbiotic exchange, yeah, we save resources. The flow's balanced, it allows us all to stay in orbit. Psilocybin, I can show you where the sacred source is. Make your spine stand up like a stegosaurus. I'm the reason that your lungs are breathing. Whether or whether not you wanna believe it, I eat you in.
What's happening, everybody? I'm running out of meltables here. Another 6 3/4 ounces going into the furnace. I'll show you what I'm gonna work on here. Hold on a second. All right, we got 6 3/4 ounces of silver inside the crucible. We have a mess to clean up. And these are going to be what I'm working on. I'm going to do an acorn troll and a mushroom troll. Mushroom trolls have been around for a little while, although I've done a horrible job at making these available to people. And this one is new. The entire acorn is in there. Just the nut part of it is down in his head, glued in there to help hold it into place. Because this one, I cut the stem off of the mushroom, and so far I've had a hell of a time keeping this little hat attached to this little dude's head. It's come apart several times, and I've been UV epoxying it back on. I think I got something else stuffed in there to help hold it into place this time. I'm not sure. But ultimately, I got to be real careful about when I force this thing down into my sand. So, yeah, I'll bring you back at some point. I don't know. All right. So, I got the molds made. It's my little acorn buddy. And my little mushroom buddy. Now, this one, it gets poured in from the top, right down onto the top of his little mushroom cap. This one's a little different. There's no flat spot to pour into anywhere on this mushroom. I suppose I could create the sprue leading up into its foot. But then I would have to rely on the silver flowing uphill to fill out its arms and legs, which I suppose it might. It's possible. But the way I found it easiest with this particular one is to just pour it in right through its back, through this tiny little sprue hole. So what I'm going to do now is, now I do things a lot different than all of the other pourers in the coin community, it seems like. So I make different trolls, and I like to warm up my molds right over here in this little toaster oven I have specifically for my pours. So I like to heat up my sand, and that seems to help get rid of those pore lines that for some reason I've always had trouble with. They're just always there. So, well, they were just always there. So these are being made for a trade, and I asked the person, I said, would you like me to make you a mushroom troll or a acorn troll? And they said, you decide. So I'm going to make one of each. right up to about 200 is where I'm at. So that's going to heat up to 200 degrees. And while that's doing that, I got almost 7 ounces of silver in here. Now, wait till you see how fast this thing climbs. If you're not familiar with the tabletop quick melt furnace from PMC Supply Company, for you pourers out there, this is the way to go, man. This furnace uses less electricity. Check out how fast this temperature is about to climb. I like to go to right about 1945. Now, it was at 61 degrees just a minute ago. Yes, it really does climb that fast. Now, the crucible and the silver doesn't heat up that fast, but the inside of the furnace does. And the silver will be about 15 minutes behind that. So, all in all, it really only takes me about a half an hour, maybe 35 minutes to melt down 7 ounces of silver. This one right here will take, at minimum, 1 hour to heat up even 1 ounce of silver. If I want to heat up copper, then we're talking about an hour and a half. Viver sucks. Tabletop quick melt is awesome. So, we're up to, well, we're going to be up to 600 degrees here in just a few seconds. Yeah, there it is. So I'm going to go grab a quick bite to eat while my sand is warming up and the silver is melting. And I'll come back. I'll bring it back after I got these poured. And I'll ask you guys which one you would prefer. If you were going to receive one of these on a trade and you had told me to choose the one that I'm going to send you, well, alright, let me back that up. If we were making a trade, which one of these would you choose? Alright, I'll be back in a moment here just for you. Or for you it'll be just a moment. For me, maybe I've smoked a little too much pot. Or no, I haven't smoked any. Maybe that's my issue right now. I talk too much, I haven't smoked any pot, and I'm hungry. So that's about where I'm at, and I'll bring you right back. Alright, we're ready to pour. So I gotta kill the heat on the furnace. I just pulled the sand, my molds here out of the toaster oven. I'm just bringing the furnace back down to 0. All right, let's get to pouring. I'm gonna do this quick so it don't cool down enough to solidify before it fills the molds. The funny thing about pouring in the back here is it always seems like I didn't pour enough in. But we'll see how it looks here in a moment. I do have to turn on the exhaust fan, so it's going to get a little noisy. Oh, I got a little bit of silver over here. That can't stay there. A couple BBs hit the tray. All right. Got those all saved up. See another little chunk of silver here. We're going to get that out of there. Put that in here. All right, let's see what we got in here. There's the back side. All right, I think I may have gotten the gap between its legs. That'll make life a lot easier to clean up. I think it turned out looking pretty decent. Where's the camera? There we go. I'll show it all cleaned up in another video. I don't have a lot of storage on my phone, so I got to keep these things short. And here's the second. So I'm going to cut the sprue off the back side of that. You see it in the back there. But it did fill out and it looks good. So I'll get these all cleaned up and make another video and show you what they look like when they're all cleaned up and maybe toned. I don't know. We'll see. So let me ask you again, pose the question one more time. Which one would you pick? The Acorn troll is new. The mushroom troll has been around for a little while, but I haven't made too many of them. So if you guys were to receive one of these, which one would you want it to be? Also, now that Wounded Warrior is over, now the prototype of the Acorn mushroom, I honestly don't remember if I sent the prototype to Vote for Pedro or if I put it up to Wounded Warrior, but only 2 of them have been made so far. This will be number 3, I suppose, or number 2, depending on how you look at it. I don't know, but and I've only made, I think, 3 mushroom trolls so far, maybe 4, I don't know. So yeah, which one would you guys pick if you were to receive one of these? Alright, much love everyone. Thanks for hanging out, and I will talk to you all soon. Well, here they are all cleaned up. I went back and looked at the last clip that I was going to end the video with, but they didn't look very good. I couldn't end it like that. So here's a little mushroom troll all cleaned up. A lot of glare here. But he looks awesome. The glare isn't doing it a whole lot of justice. Maybe I'll tone it up or something. I don't know. But in person, you can get past the glare and it looks really cool. So there's the mushroom troll. Here's a little acorn troll.
Now, I am going to start making these available. And I always have a hard time figuring out what I'm going to charge for my pours. So I figure for my mushroom trolls, I'll just go spot plus $27, and that'll include shipping. I can hold the phone steady, maybe you can get a better look. There we go. Now they're looking good. So there's the back side. Oh. Yeah, I know I'm not doing any favors by spinning these things around on the tray here. And they do stand up on their own. Just well, if they weren't on a baking pan that's been overheated a bunch of times, they'd stand up on their own. So here's the back sides. Acorn troll. Wipe it off here. Mushroom troll. I think they look pretty sweet. I know which one I'm going to send to the person. But, alright. Well, that's it. Much love, everyone. If you're interested in a troll, reach out. Let me know. And, yeah. We can hook you up. We'll make you a troll. Alright. Much love, everyone. I'll talk to y'all soon.
If it wasn't for